Everything is being resolved by God for your good right now, and you have reached the moment where the final decision is being delivered. This is not a coincidence. It is divine orchestration. Whatever battles you've been facing, whether it's unresolved issues, stubborn obstacles, or deep inner struggles, God is announcing that your case is now closed. No more delays, no more going in circles over the same problems. If you've been waiting for confirmation that everything is about to change, this is it. It's staring you right in the face. But listen closely. You cannot simply skim through this and move on as usual. Your spiritual team wants you to take action. If these words resonate with you, show the universe you're ready to receive. Hit the like button, not for ego or validation, but as a signal to the universe. Subscribe to The Chosen Path so you don't miss another divine transmission. Write the numbers 77 in the comments as a symbol that you are aligned with what is happening. And here's the secret. Let this video play on repeat. Each time you absorb its energy, you amplify the reality of this truth. Watch until the end, because you will not only receive closure, but also the key to moving forward in an entirely new way. This is not a guess. It is a divine promise. The momentum you need will be revealed, and by the time you're finished, you will have a clear understanding of why your case has been closed and what new path awaits you. Chapter 1. Understanding the Verdict. Imagine yourself standing in a heavenly courtroom, your struggles laid bare before a panel of wise and compassionate beings. Every tear you've shed, every prayer whispered in despair, every sleepless night has been recorded. God's gaze is upon you, not with judgment, but with a profound understanding of your journey. Today, the verdict from heaven is announced. Your case is closed. What does this mean? First and foremost, it means you are no longer defined by the cycles of hardship from your past. Old obstacles that once seemed immovable are now shifting or disappearing. This is not an exaggeration or an empty promise. Energetically, something has aligned, allowing you to step out of the loop that has kept you trapped. Perhaps this pertains to financial barriers that seemed impossible to overcome, patterns in relationships that repeatedly broke your heart, or health challenges with no clear resolution. Whatever your case has been, the gavel has struck. You are free to move forward. To fully embrace this verdict, you must recognize that your soul's growth has played a vital role. The universe does not allow prolonged suffering without purpose. Often you remain in survival mode until you learn key lessons: patience, self-worth, forgiveness, or wisdom. If your case has been closed, it means you've learned enough of these lessons. Like a student who has finally mastered the material, you are now allowed to graduate. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and place your hand over your heart. Quietly affirm, I accept that my case is closed. I am no longer bound by the past. I am ready to embrace the new beginning God has set before me. Feel the tension in your body ease as these words sink in. This is more than a ritual. It is a declaration of independence from old struggles. However, understanding this verdict also means letting go of the comfort found in what is familiar. Sometimes, staying stuck, though painful, feels safer because it's known. Now God challenges you to move beyond familiar pain into the unknown territory of healing and progress. Not everyone finds this easy. Some cling to their old stories, refusing to believe in new possibilities. Don't be one of them. Trust that this divine decision is real and is guiding you to a phase of life where you operate at a higher vibration. Imagine this. If a judge told you that you no longer had to pay a heavy penalty, wouldn't you rejoice and adjust your life accordingly? The same applies here. Use this newfound freedom wisely. Reflect on what you can now pursue that once seemed impossible. This might mean applying for a job you once thought out of reach, opening your heart to love again, or setting healthier boundaries without fear of negative reactions. Your spiritual team celebrates your willingness to embrace this change. They've witnessed your struggles and your tireless efforts to seek relief and understanding. Now that it has arrived, imagine them smiling widely, eager to see what you'll do with this new opportunity. The energy you've invested in growth has not been wasted. It becomes the fuel for your forward movement. Remember, this doesn't mean challenges will disappear forever. Life moves in cycles. But the specific repetitive cycle that has tormented you is now complete. Like finishing a chapter in a book, you turn the page with anticipation for what comes next. God's hand has cleared the table. Now you have the chance to set the next feast. As you move into the next chapters, you will gain insights on how to proceed with confidence. Keep your energy aligned with this divine decision and use this newfound freedom to reach for things you once only dreamed of. For now, relish the understanding that you are no longer on trial. The doors of possibility are wide open. Go ahead, step through them. Chapter 2. Releasing Old Attachments. With the conclusion of your case, it is time to sever ties with the attachments that have anchored you to old cycles. Imagine these attachments as energetic cords connecting you to situations, beliefs, or even people from your past. When God declares that your burdens have been lifted, these cords become obsolete. Holding on to them will only slow your progress forward. These attachments may take the form of grudges that resurface whenever you recall a certain event, or fears that you'll repeat past failures. They might also involve someone who symbolizes the pain you've left behind, someone you once tried to fix, chase, or impress, even though their presence hindered your growth. Now is the time to let these attachments dissolve. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting what you've learned. It means freeing yourself from emotional entanglement. A valuable step is to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't excuse wrongdoing, but releases you from the grip of bitterness. Similarly, letting go of blame, whether directed at yourself or others, unties the knots that bind you to a painful past. Write down 3 attachments you know you need to release. Be honest and direct. Perhaps you're still clinging to limiting beliefs like, "I'll always struggle financially," or holding on to heartbreak that prevents you from trusting others. Beside each attachment, write a release statement such as, "I release the belief that I cannot thrive. I open myself to abundance." By writing these intentions, you set a new energetic standard. As you release, remember that God's resolution of your case also involves dismantling illusions. The patterns you've held onto often stem from illusions, false perceptions that made you believe you needed others' approval or that you deserved hardship. Now is the time to replace those illusions with truth. You are worthy, capable, and divinely guided. This process may bring discomfort. Be prepared for moments when you're tempted to return to the familiar burdens of the past. Remind yourself that the decision has been made. Clinging to the past is like carrying heavy chains that are already unlocked. You can drop them at any time. Doing so will free energy that you can redirect into new endeavors, healthy relationships, and personal growth. As you learn to live without these attachments, you'll feel lighter. Emotions will flow more freely, creativity will surface more often, and opportunities will appear as if out of nowhere. This is the universe responding to your willingness to move forward unburdened. When your hands are no longer full of old baggage, you can fully embrace the blessings God has placed along your path. Your spiritual team enthusiastically supports this clearing process. They know that every old attachment you release creates space for new energy that aligns more closely with your divine purpose. Just as decluttering a room makes space for something more fitting, releasing these cords opens the way for something more aligned with your journey. As you progress along this liberated path, your intuition will sharpen. Without the fog of old emotions clouding your vision, you'll perceive God's guidance more clearly. Releasing old attachments doesn't mean erasing your history. Your past has brought you to this point, shaped your character, and taught you valuable lessons. But now, you honor those lessons by refusing to let the past dictate your future. Instead, you transform your experiences into wisdom, equipping yourself to face new challenges with confidence and grace. As we move into the next chapters, picture yourself as a traveler who has just lightened their load. You'll walk faster, climb higher, and see farther. By clearing away what no longer serves you, you create space for blessings that truly align with who you are becoming. The journey ahead promises landscapes full of possibilities, and you are ready to explore them with an unburdened soul. Chapter 3. Strengthening your connection with divine guidance. Having received closure on your past burdens and released the attachments that weighed you down, you are now in a better position to strengthen your connection with divine guidance. God is not a distant entity pulling strings from afar. God is intimately involved in every breath you take, every choice you make. With the clutter of the past cleared away, you can now align yourself more closely with this sacred frequency. Begin with stillness. In a world that constantly demands your attention, learning to find quiet is a revolutionary act. You don't need hours of meditation on a mountaintop. Start small, just a few minutes in the morning or before bed. It's just you, your breath, and the divine presence within. As you step into stillness, imagine God's voice as a gentle stream flowing through your consciousness, bringing insights and encouragement. Action. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your abdomen. Breathe slowly, feeling the rhythm of your body. In the silence, ask, "What do I need to know today, God?" Pause and listen. You might not hear words, but you could feel something, see an image, or receive a sudden intuitive nudge. Trust that guidance is being given, even if it feels subtle at first. The more you align yourself, the more familiar you will become with this divine language. Over time, you'll discern between the urgings of the ego and the true counsel of the spirit. When a thought arises, ask yourself, does this feel expansive or constricting? Divine guidance often brings a sense of spaciousness, hope, and clarity. Messages that are fear-driven or shame-laden rarely originate from a divine source. As this connection deepens, you'll notice synchronicities occurring more frequently. You might overhear a conversation that answers a pressing question, come across a book that addresses your current challenges, or experience events that seem like coincidences. But they're not coincidences. They're confirmations that you're in harmony with the divine flow. God's guidance comes in many forms: the beauty of nature, timely advice from a friend, or even unexpected kindness from a stranger. With heightened sensitivity, you'll navigate life with newfound ease. Decisions that once felt confusing will become clearer. Instead of endlessly analyzing pros and cons, you'll sense the path that carries divine approval. Cultivate gratitude for every bit of guidance, every whisper that eases your doubts. Gratitude expands your heart and invites even more blessings. By appreciating the subtle ways God communicates, you signal your readiness to receive deeper insights. Your spiritual team also plays a role in this communication network. They are loving messengers who help interpret God's cues. They may leave symbols like feathers in your path, inspire dreams that answer your questions, or orchestrate encounters that lead to breakthroughs. The more open you are, the more you'll recognize these gentle nudges. Over time, your relationship with God will evolve from formality to intimacy. You'll talk, listen, laugh, and cry, all within this sacred bond. Prayer shifts from desperate pleas to ongoing conversations filled with trust and appreciation. This constant communion ensures that you are never truly walking alone. Strengthening your connection with divine guidance also fortifies your resilience. When life presents challenges, you won't crumble. Instead, you'll pause, realign, and trust that you have what it takes to overcome. This inner compass keeps you centered, no matter how fiercely the external winds blow. Think of this divine guidance as a dependable companion, a north star that never dims, even when clouds pass by. The more you rely on it, the brighter this guidance will shine in your life. In the chapters ahead, we will explore how to use this guidance to manifest a new reality, deepen your purpose, and amplify the impact of your renewed state. For now, cherish this growing sensitivity. You have mastered the art of clearing obstacles and releasing old burdens. Now, you are calibrating your spiritual antenna, ready to receive the clearest signals from heaven. Each time you pause and listen, you affirm the truth that you are guided, supported, and deeply loved. Chapter 4. Translating Insights into Material Reality. Divine guidance is not meant to remain in the ethereal realm of your mind and spirit. It seeks expression in tangible form. God has closed your case so that you can act, build, create, and serve in the physical world. Now, with a stronger connection to divine wisdom, it is time to translate these insights into material reality. Think of yourself as a channel through which divine intelligence flows into everyday life. Perhaps you've received an intuitive nudge to start a project that uplifts your community, change your career path, or approach your personal relationships with greater authenticity. Whatever the nudge, its true power emerges when you transform it into action. Take one piece of guidance you've received in recent days. It could be a subtle hint or a clear directive. Commit to taking a concrete step to bring it to life. For example, if you feel prompted to explore a new field of work, your action might involve researching courses or scheduling an informational interview. If you feel the need to mend a strained relationship, consider writing a heartfelt message or arranging a conversation. By doing something tangible, you are grounding divine energy into physical form. This translation doesn't always yield immediate results. Patience remains essential. Seeds take time to grow. Even divine seeds require nurturing. The difference now is that you are acting from a place of faith, not desperation. Your trust in God's plan frees you from attachment to specific outcomes. Instead, you trust that each step brings you closer to your destiny. As you bring heavenly guidance to earth, notice how obstacles transform into stepping stones. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable can now become opportunities to refine your skills or demonstrate your resilience. The divine perspective you've cultivated allows you to look beyond surface-level problems, uncovering the bigger picture where every twist serves a purpose. This grounded approach also affects your energetic field. When you live out your guidance, you exude a certain confidence and peace that others find magnetic. They may ask what has changed in you, unaware that you are carrying out God's instructions, bridging the gap between spiritual vision and worldly manifestation. Your example can inspire them to trust their own inner whispers, creating a ripple effect of empowered lives. Remember, not every action will result in a grand transformation. Many will be small and subtle. A kind word at the right time, a decision to spend the evening reading something uplifting rather than worrying. Yet these small shifts accumulate, contributing to the larger pattern of divine flow in your life. Your spiritual team celebrates every practical step you take. They have witnessed many people receive guidance but never act, leaving blessings on the table. You are showing a willingness to do things differently, to harvest the fruits of divine wisdom. This sets you apart as someone who doesn't just speak of faith and intention, but embodies them through tangible effort. Over time, the practice of translating insights into action will become second nature. You listen, you trust, you act. Instead of wrestling with indecision, you will move decisively when divine whispers point the way. Even when uncertainty remains, you will lean on the compass you've built within your heart. This is what it means to align with God's plan, not seeking control, but partnering with grace and wisdom to shape your journey. In the chapters ahead, we will discuss how to maintain this momentum, ensuring that the energy and guidance you've embraced become enduring aspects of your character and daily life. For now, congratulate yourself on the courage to become a bridge between the spiritual and the material. You are building a life where God's voice is not only heard, but also realized, and where your dreams find solid footing in the soil of reality. Chapter 5: Sustaining Faith and Unshakable Trust. As you move forward, it is crucial to maintain faith and trust in the divine process that has brought you this far. When God declares your case closed, it's natural for a part of you to doubt, to feel that this is too good to be true, or to worry that the newfound peace and guidance might fade if not carefully guarded. However, understand that God does not waver, and the decision to close your case is not a temporary pause. It marks a genuine milestone in your spiritual evolution, evidence of your readiness to live more aligned with divine will. Sustaining faith means remembering the journey that has brought you here, trusting that every step has been orchestrated, every lesson placed deliberately to bring you closer to your purpose. Trust flows more easily when you realize you've never walked alone. You've partnered with divine intelligence, committed to your growth, not your downfall. If doubt resurfaces, see it not as evidence of regression, but as an invitation to reaffirm your inner truth. Instead of panicking, turn doubt into a catalyst to return to your spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply breathing deeply and listening for divine reassurance. Create simple, heartfelt rituals to reaffirm your faith whenever doubt threatens your peace. For instance, when uncertainty arises, light a candle and speak affirmations such as, "I am supported, my path is guided, all is well." Or find a quiet space to close your eyes, take deep breaths, and visualize divine light surrounding you. Imagine this light infusing every cell of your body, reminding you that the divine presence is your eternal companion. Each time you engage in such rituals, you transform a potentially discouraging moment into an opportunity to deepen trust and strengthen your sacred connection. Your faith and trust will also grow as you shift your perspective on life's inevitable challenges. Understand that facing obstacles does not mean your energy is retreating or your spiritual progress has stalled. Instead, these hurdles are exercises that strengthen the spiritual muscles you've worked so diligently to develop. Now, rather than reacting with fear or frustration, you approach problems with a faith-based, solution-oriented mindset. You know that solutions will arise in divine timing, and you trust that every struggle carries a lesson vital to your growth. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals will further nurture your trust. Seek friends, mentors, or communities that uplift, encourage, and celebrate your spiritual journey. While you don't need to judge or distance yourself from those who doubt you, be mindful of whose voices you allow to influence your mindset. Just as a gardener selects fertile soil for their seeds, you choose life-giving relationships to sustain your faith. When doubt creeps back in, remember how far you've come. Recall the feeling of being trapped when your path once seemed dark and uncertain. Compare it to the freedom you now feel, knowing your case is closed. Remember how you learned to release attachments and grow in your receptivity to divine guidance. Your faith is not fragile, but a renewable resource that you can strengthen through consistent reflection, prayer, and aligned action. When storms arise, remember that you hold the key to a spiritual sanctuary built on divine promises and lived experiences. No storm can topple walls constructed with sincerity, perseverance, and love. In the chapters ahead, we will explore how to integrate these principles so deeply that they become a natural part of your daily life. By doing so, you ensure that the extraordinary transformation you've experienced is not a fleeting impression, but an enduring pattern, a solid foundation upon which you can build the life your soul has always known to be your destiny. Chapter 6. Solidifying your new reality. You have reached a pivotal threshold in your spiritual journey where the changes you have made must now become second nature. Experiencing enlightenment, revelations, or receiving divine guidance is one thing, but weaving those transformations so deeply into your life that they become part of your core being is another. Solidifying your new reality means moving beyond the initial bursts of inspiration into steady, sustained practice, where spiritual principles guide your worldview, not merely as lofty ideals, but as daily truths. Think of this solidification as pouring a sturdy foundation beneath a newly constructed structure. Without proper reinforcement, even the most magnificent architectural design is vulnerable to shifting and instability. Without consistent effort, old habits can resurface, and lingering doubts may creep in. But remember, you're no longer who you once were. You have tasted the sweetness of freedom, clarity, and alignment. You know what it feels like to stand in your truth. Now, it is your responsibility to safeguard this treasure with mindful awareness and dedicated action, ensuring it endures the test of time. Begin by identifying one spiritual principle that resonates most with your current journey, a core value like gratitude, patience, love, or surrender. Make that principle your daily focus. Each morning, reaffirm your commitment, for example. Today, I choose gratitude. Carry that affirmation like a quiet torch throughout the day, illuminating your thoughts, words, and actions. Notice when you stray from the chosen principle, when complaints, impatience, or judgments arise, and gently guide yourself back on track. Over time, this repetition creates strong neural pathways in your mind, making your chosen principles second nature rather than an occasional preference. Solidifying your new reality also involves celebrating your progress, no matter how small. You don't need to wait for major milestones or external recognition. Each time you respond to a minor inconvenience with understanding instead of anger, or face a personal challenge with faith instead of fear, you reinforce your new way of life. These small moments are sacred confirmations that your transformation is not just rhetoric, it is genuine evolution. By acknowledging these small victories, you remind yourself that profound change often unfolds in gentle steps, like soft waves polishing the shore until it gleams. Throughout this process, treat yourself with kindness and patience. Spiritual evolution rarely follows a straight upward trajectory. It is a path filled with plateaus where you rest and integrate, descents where you revisit old patterns to refine them further, and sudden surges that bring unexpected insights. There will be days when you feel expansive and connected, and others when you feel slightly off balance. This is entirely normal. What matters is not striving for impossible perfection, but cultivating consistency and resilience. The divine never asks for perfection, only sincere dedication. Your spiritual team rejoices as you embrace this phase of integration. While initial enlightenment is exhilarating, true mastery emerges when you sustain these changes over time. By weaving spiritual truths into your daily mindset, you create an environment where divine energy can flow unhindered, guiding your words, choices, and relationships without constant conscious effort. Life's inevitable challenges become more manageable because you operate from a stable spiritual platform rather than constantly struggling to regain balance. As you solidify these new patterns, consider their impact on every dimension of your being. Your professional life, once perhaps filled with stress or competition, can now flourish with more compassion, intuition, and collaboration. In your personal relationships, kindness and forgiveness come to the forefront, allowing conflicts to resolve gracefully and connections to deepen naturally. Even your leisure time transforms as you choose activities that nourish your soul, such as pursuing creativity, spending time in nature, or sharing laughter with loved ones, instead of empty pursuits that once drained your energy. Over time, you will find that living in alignment with divine guidance is no longer something you must consciously remember. It becomes who you are. Principles that once required deliberate effort now arise naturally. Gratitude flows as easily as breath. Compassion emerges as an instinct, and patience accompanies every decision like a loyal friend. This does not mean life suddenly becomes free of challenges. Problems will still arise, as they always do, but your response to them will be fundamentally different. You will face obstacles with confidence, seeing them as opportunities to strengthen your inner fortitude rather than threats to your inner peace. In the final chapter, we will reflect on this extraordinary evolution, from being bound by old struggles to embodying the grace of liberation that you now manifest. For now, honor your commitment to solidifying this new reality. Each day you spend living these principles further roots divine truth in your heart, ensuring that your renewed energy, purpose, and alignment become an enduring melody in your life. Take pride in the progress you have made. You have laid a new spiritual foundation, brick by brick, choice by choice, thought by thought, and you stand firmly upon it. Your new reality is no longer a distant dream or a fragile hope. It is a solid, unshakable presence within you. With this strength, you step forward into whatever lies ahead, confident that you will remain steadfast, centered, and divinely guided through all the chapters of life yet to unfold. Chapter 7. Embracing Life's Journey for Growth. When you commit to a lifelong path of growth, understand that each phase of your journey will have its unique characteristics. There will be times when expansion feels effortless, when synchronicities abound, and your heart is filled with inspiration. In these moments, be grateful for the flow of grace. Use these periods to plant seeds, ideas, projects, or relationships that can sustain you when challenges arise. Then, there will be times of contraction, where lessons feel heavy and progress seems slow. Do not mistake these periods for failure or regression. They are vital pauses that allow you to integrate what you've learned, strengthening your foundation for future growth. In these quieter phases, lean on faith rather than forcing progress. Trust that God's plan encompasses both the highs and the lows, and that sometimes the soil of your soul needs rest before it can yield its next harvest. Just as a farmer respects the rhythms of planting and harvesting, honor the rhythms of your spiritual journey. By doing so, you stay aligned with divine timing rather than resisting its flow. Over time, your evolving perspective will shape how you interpret life's events. Instead of labeling experiences as good or bad, you'll see them as parts of a larger mosaic, each contributing its unique color and shape to the whole. You may look back on a hardship that once brought you low and realize it taught you empathy, perseverance, or wisdom, qualities that now guide you through new challenges with steadiness. This shift may make you more resilient, adaptable, and open-minded. You'll notice even your language changes. Complaints become observations, judgments become understanding, and despair transforms into quiet hope. Your words will carry traces of divine wisdom, subtly encouraging those who hear them to consider new possibilities in their own lives. This approach frees you from the race to meet external standards. Society often imposes rigid timelines for success or benchmarks for self-worth. But your path is not about impressing others. It is about fulfilling the unique purpose God has placed within you. As you honor this purpose, you will naturally be drawn to endeavors that resonate with your soul, rather than chasing validation from others. This authenticity not only feels liberating, but also attracts opportunities that truly align with your calling. Do not hesitate to seek help when you need it. Spiritual mentors, supportive communities, or even the words of wise authors and teachers can illuminate your path when your vision grows dim. Humility and a sense of interconnectedness are essential. By acknowledging that we all learn from each other's experiences, you create a shared network of support that fosters collective ascension. Remember that God rejoices in your progress. Every step you take toward growth, every lesson integrated, every moment of expanded awareness is a cause for celebration in the spiritual realm. As you continue walking this path, stay attuned to your inner signals. Trust that you will know when a cycle has completed and a new chapter is beginning. Trust that when it's time to release old patterns again, you will have the strength to do so. Trust that when new challenges arise, you will face them with the resources and courage needed. This confidence does not stem from arrogance, but from a deep knowing that you're never alone. God stands with you, within you, energizing every step. Your spiritual team eagerly anticipates your future discoveries. They await the wisdom you will gain, the hearts you will touch, and the ways you will inspire others to look beyond their limitations. By embracing this journey of growth, you rewrite your relationship with time. Days no longer feel like mere passing units. They become opportunities to refine your inner landscape and brighten your outward impact. With each rotation of the earth, you awaken to the potential to become more compassionate, wiser, and more aligned with the divine essence within you. Look ahead with soft eyes and a steady heart. Wherever the path leads, trust that you are equipped, that God's grace surrounds you, and that every experience can be transformed into a stepping stone toward greater wholeness. This is not about rushing to a finish line. It's about savoring the journey fully, living each moment, and evolving gracefully in harmony with the flow of spirit. You have reached the end of this message, but in truth, there is no end. God has closed your case, and from that closure is born a grand opening. Doors flung wide to greater possibilities, deeper wisdom, and richer purpose. As you move forward, remember, you are not returning to who you were. You are stepping forward as who you are becoming, a soul aligned with divine flow, equipped to handle life's complexities with grace. Keep these lessons close, revisit them as needed, and remember that your spiritual team cheers for your courage and celebrates every step you take. May you continue to grow, guided by the gentle voice of God and anchored in the knowledge that you are forever supported. Your case is closed, your heart is open, your path is blessed. Embrace it.